Good afternoon, everybody. It's 12 o'clock, and this is your host, David Breslauer. I'm joined by my colleague, Randy Simpson, and this is the June edition of Talk to Our Expert. Today, we're going to talk about Merlin Video. As always, we've got some guidelines for the webinar because we never know how many people are going to join us. We'd like to make this short and sweet. I am recording this session, so that's the reminder to myself to record it. I will do my short presentation as usual. Feel free to ask your questions in the webinar chat window. Randy will try to monitor that for me as well, but I will try and look at it. Your questions do not have to be related to today's topic, so feel free to ask us anything you would like. And as always, we're going to keep this to 30 minutes or less, so that everybody can go back and back to their busy days. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Today's presentation is about Merlin Video, and so these are the things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about uploading video to Merlin, and we're going to talk about using this we're going to talk about doing this using the Merlin X web client. File sizes there are limited to 1 gigabyte per file. You can upload as many files as you like, or by using FTP software where there are no file limits. We're going to talk about how Merlin handles video. We're going to talk about how it's being stored in the format that it's delivered, how we generate a web-friendly streaming proxy file, our speech-to-text process, and how we take that extracted text that we've created and index it with the time code so that you can go directly to the video, and not only to the video, but the point in the video where your search terms were used. And of course, there's more. We're going to show you how we can create marked frames and clips from the video, and how we can add searchable metadata to the marked frames so that you can search on that information as well. And we're also going to show how you can download the marked frames and clips directly from the client. And the last thing I'm going to show you is how you can generate a report from the Merlin X web client that can serve as an edit decision list. So we're going to do all of that today, and then we'll take time for your questions. But why don't we just jump right in and log into my Merlin demo system, and we'll take a look at these things. So let me do this, and we will go to my browser where we are previously logged into Merlin. And you can see I've got a search running, and it actually has a lot of video. We get a video feed from the Reuters news agency every day. So every day there are a couple of new videos that are in our system, and you can see them right here. You can tell they're different from normal pictures and other types of content because they have the little play button to indicate that it's a video that appears in the middle of the video thumbnail. So that's a little bit about that. The first thing we were going to talk about is how to get your video into Merlin. And so there are two ways to do it. And the easiest way to do it, especially for shorter web videos that are less than 1 gigabyte in file size, is to use the web upload form. So I'm going to click the web upload form, and I've got a video on my desktop, and I'm going to drag it and drop it in here. Now what's really cool about this is I can have all sorts of different data types in here at the same time. So I could have video in here, and notice this is an MP4 video. I could have MOV videos. I could have photos. I could have graphics, as long as the content I'm uploading has common metadata. So I'm saying this is a test video, and I'm going to add additional metadata. So I'm going to put my name in as the author of this video. And I am not going to add it to a collection, although that is one of my options. I could easily add it to a collection. I'm going to leave the copyright and credit field blank, and I have to choose a provider field in this particular Merlin system because it is set to mandatory. You can see the asterisk at the end of the word provider, which indicates it is a required field, and I'm going to select that to the other, and I'm going to say start the upload. and it's asking me, it's just warning me that the video, the embedded metadata may be changed as part of my upload process. I'm going to just say, yep, go ahead. And so notice in the upper right-hand corner of my browser window, I have a new icon that has appeared that indicates an upload is in progress. And I'm able to click on that, and look, it's telling me that the upload is completed already. It's a short video. It was 5.85 megabytes, so it's a really short video, and so it's uploaded very, very quickly. And so that's how easy it is to upload video to Merlin. If you want to FTP video to Merlin, you can do that, and you would have to have the FTP address to do that. All of our customers have a slightly different FTP address, and so if you want to, if your Merlin is video enabled and you would like to FTP video to Merlin, typically for larger videos, larger than 1 gigabyte, let us know, contact our customer service department, and we will let you know what your FTP address is. If your Merlins are not video enabled, and not all of our customers are using video, and would like to be video enabled, please contact Randy Simpson or myself, and we will let you know what needs to happen in order to make that occur. Video, of course, is an option, and there is an extra charge for enabling video on a Merlin system. So that's a little bit about that. While I was talking, that video actually processed. Let's click on search to search for everything. And here's the video that you watched me add, okay? So it's right here. I'm going to double click on it to make it large, and I'm going to start to play it. Deliver content to internal or external destinations with a mouse click, or set up automatic distribution to defined channels, share collections, searches, and even content with. So it's a very short little video tutorial for something that we were working on, for a project we were working on internally, and I uploaded it to Merlin. It was stored in its original format, so if I use my export command and I choose to download the video, it's going to download the entire video in the original format in which it was uploaded to Merlin. Okay, so that's something that's good to know. The other thing that we do in Merlin is we make it a web-friendly streaming proxy version of the video, which allows me to pretty much scrub through it or click and drag the playhead to wherever I want it to be, and I don't have to wait for the original high-definition version of the video to load. Now, in this case, it's a short video, so why don't we move to the next video in line? It's a different video. It's a news clip. And again, notice I can drag the playhead and park it wherever I want. Okay, so that's a really nice thing to be able to do. The third thing that we do with video is we run it through a speech-to-text process. So let's go back to my video, and I'm going to show you. This is the text that of my spoken word. Okay, and what's really nice, this is hitting it 100%. It nailed it exactly. So this is exactly what I said. Of course, it doesn't add punctuation, but this is exactly what I said. So in this case, it is a true transcript, although I would hesitate to ever call it that. Okay, and the last thing that we do is we take this extracted text and we index it along the time code. So we make it real easy to find something. So let me show you this. I'm searching for Washington Post, okay? And I'm going to click on search. And so, again, I just went through 500,000 items, and I found videos where the word Washington Post appears somewhere in the video metadata. I've got a graphic where the term Washington and Post appears. I also have PDF newspaper pages where the term Washington Post appears somewhere in the metadata. Now, it may not be Washington Post. It may be George Washington posting something on Facebook, but it's both of those words are true. But let's take a look at this one. This one's interesting. It's a video. It appears to be of Donald Trump, so let's make it large. And let's go ahead, and I'm just going to move the playhead a little bit. And indeed, it's the presidential candidate Donald Trump. And if we go look at my extracted text, take a look at this, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and start to play it from the beginning, and we'll just sort of follow the text along as it plays.
We just took, they're so dishonest, we just took the Prescott credentials away. I love it. We just took the press credentials away from the dishonest Washington Post. I said, you know, I said, why should I have people following me around, sitting up there like big shots, and they write very untruthful stories? They write very...
Okay, I think we've heard enough, and so we're going to pause it right there and talk about what we're seeing. So basically, this is the speech-to-text process. Okay, so Merlin, when you upload a video, the Merlin video process listens to the video or the audio file and converts it to text, and that's what we've done here. And again, I'm cautious to say it's not a transcript, but what I got here was searchable metadata. And so I searched for Washington Post and I found this video. If I search for Trump, I will find this video, because you can see down here at every Trump rally, okay? So this is in here as well. My rallies are the safest place on earth, okay? So I've got all of this information, and nobody had to type this in. This happened all automatically using our speech-to-text process, okay? And then the last thing that we do, and you can't see it, it's invisible here, is we embed time codes periodically so that we're able to do this. We know that Washington Post was spoken at 13 seconds, at 35 seconds, and 41 seconds. And so what's really cool about this, if I click on any one of these, it's going to move the playhead to just before 41 seconds and start to play it so you hear it in context. So I'm going to choose this one at 41 seconds.
Come in. Where's the Washington Post? They're probably somewhere. Maybe they're in the back.
Okay. Now, this is a rather short video, right? It's a 2-minute news clip, but imagine you've got an hour-long interview with somebody, or an hour-long news report, or an hour-long any video that's got a nice voiceover or a good interview with the microphones being used properly. You can really go find what people have said and go to it very, very, very quickly and find what you're looking for. So that's a pretty cool thing. Okay. So I'm just going to go check and make sure nobody's asking any questions yet. It looks like not yet. And so now what I want to do is show you what else we're able to do now that we have this video clip, okay? So I'm going to click my Show More button. And I have all these different categories that I've created, and I can add additional categories by clicking the New Category button and giving the category a name. I'm not going to do it because I've got plenty of categories already. And within each category, I can click and drop a marked frame, okay? So I've just created a marked frame there, or it's called a marker in most video editing software, okay? I can also, I'm going to do it in the same category, I can click and drag and create a clip. So maybe I just want this little portion of a clip, and I can fine-tune it so I can adjust the end point or the beginning and the out point, the end. So I've got this little tiny clip that's here as well. So I've got a marked frame and a clip, and I can have more marked frames, and I can drag the marked frame around so I can position it exactly where I want it. So I've added another marked frame. So this is just like working in your nonlinear editor like Premiere or Final Cut or Avid. You can go in and add marked frames and create clips, and that's what I've done here, okay? But I can do more with that. I can click on my marked frame or my clip, and I can add searchable metadata. And I can also add a searchable description. And the metadata that I add here, the label and the description that I add here are searchable in Merlin. So if I were to go search for the string add searchable metadata, it would take me to this video clip, okay? Or if I search for add a searchable description, it would take me straight away to this video clip. So that's kind of a cool thing to be able to do. And the other thing I can do from this panel is I can click save. Okay, so it'll save my information, and notice it now has a label on it, add searchable metadata. And if I click output, it's going to deliver that frame to my, or that clip to my local computer. Instead, I'm going to do that with this marked frame, and I'm just going to click output. Okay, and I get a growl or a message in the upper right-hand corner saying, hey, I got your message, and look, there it is. So I just said output, and it went back to the original video where I had set the marker and output the frame grab to my local computer, and that's what we're looking at in Photoshop right now. Okay, so that's a pretty cool thing to be able to do. So I can find video, I can upload video quickly, I can find video quickly, I can add marked frames to video, I can reuse video by downloading the original video clip or downloading clips or marked frames. That's real easy to do. And the last thing that I can do, and this is a really cool thing to be able to do, and I'm going to go ahead and just add some more marked frames in here just so I've got something to show you in a report. And normally I would go through and label each of these as well, so these are just random. But I want to show you this report I can generate. So if I have permission to access the reports area, I have this report called Video Edits. And I could have one or more videos selected on my screen. In this case, I just have the one. And it automatically puts the unique Merlin ID in my Merlin ID field. If I'm not on a video, I can still manually enter the Merlin ID here. And when I click Get a Report, it generates a comma-separated value file to my local computer. You can see it right here. And that comma-separated value file basically serves as an edit decision list. So I'm going to go here and make this a little more pretty. I'm going to say it's delimited, and it's delimited with commas. And I'm going to say Finish. And so look, you can see that here is the name in Merlin. So I've got the object name in Merlin. I've got the category. Is it the ad campaign category, or the Friday category, or the My Edits category? Those were those color-coded categories you saw at the bottom of the video when I elected to show more. Let me cancel this and go back. Right? These are my color-coded categories in the show more area. Okay, and so I got all of those categories up here, and then within each category it tells me, is it a marker or is it a clip? And then it's telling me, if it's a marked frame, it's telling me where in the video the marked frame is, and if it's a clip, it's telling me where the beginning and the end of the clip is. Okay, and then if I've added labels, they show up here, and you watched me add these labels. So it's really easy to get an edit decision list out of Merlin as well. So that's what I wanted to show you in Merlin. I wanted to show you how easy it is to upload video to Merlin and how easy it is to download it and edit it. Just like any other item in Merlin, you can add additional metadata fields if you want to do that. So that's not a problem. You can do that either one at a time or in batches using normal Merlin functionality. So let's see, we have some questions. Yes, I'm asked, can you make the speech to text better? We always look at that, and this particular person, Jan, is asking Dutch. He's mentioned that Dutch is difficult, so they're actually using the speech to text for Dutch, and it's a little bit even more complicated than English, and anytime we have an opportunity to improve it, we do, but it's a little bit hard. Let's see what else we have. Do you need, for video in Merlin X, the QuickTime plugin? No, we don't. Okay, so you don't need any plugins in Merlin, in the Merlin X web client, in order to play back video.
What about the browser, David? Doesn't the browser require some kind of playback, or depending on the browser? Or?
There's one browser, and I think it's a Google Chrome, that doesn't play back properly, but all of the other browsers play back without any problem, with no extra software required.
Okay.
So thanks for that, Randy. So any other questions related to video or anything else? Okay, well, this will be the shortest Merlin chat with an expert we've done. Randy, go ahead.
I'll put a plug in from the sales department. if anybody on the call doesn't have video and you're interested in adding the video functionality, pop me a note and we can see what it costs in your environment.
If you have suggestions for what you would like to see with our Talk to Our Expert program, let us know, because again, we're not doing this for us. We're doing it for you, and we're trying to take different things that we think are interesting and different people that we think are interesting. And oh, by the way, I do apologize. I know originally we were scheduled to have Andy Daddio speak today, and he had a conflict. We're going to have Andy come back in September and talk to us. So please let us know, and look for our invitation for our next chat with an expert. So.
And actually, since you mentioned Andy, we always love to have guests. So if anybody, again, on the call would like to do a Q&A about how they use Merlin, or one workflow, or someone, some great Merlin tips that you found for your organization, we're happy to highlight you.
And next month, we're going to talk about managing content using save searches and collections to help you organize your collection. So that's it for me, and for Randy, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Bye-bye.